Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I am here to talk about and review a movie that I've always wanted to review and talk about, but I'm just now finally getting to it. I'm talking about Wanted! How well you can see that. Wanted is a 2008 film that I did see in theaters way back when. I know some friends and we talked about how 2008 was a really good year or a really good summer to go to the theater. There was so many movies every week or every other week that we went to go see, and this was one of them. I didn't really know much about it. I didn't know it was a comic book. I didn't know a whole lot. In fact, in the theater, I remember at the very beginning, there's a scene where one of the characters is being shot at in a building, and he runs across the hall, goes in the elevator, and then he just runs forward. And he runs forward and then jumps out of the window across to the other building on the rooftop to kill everybody. And I remember thinking, and even my friends at the time were like, wow, this is very goofy, kind of dumb and over the top. I don't know if we're ready for this type of silliness. But then after that, the movie roped me into it. The movie got me into what the actual plot was. So I did end up enjoying it. The plot, I guess I should get into that. Well, first, it's directed by Timur Bekmambetov. Woohoo! I'm not even going to try to say that again. But it stars James McAvoy as Wesley. You see him at an office cubicle-like job, the office manager, and he's miserable. He is so miserable. Not just from his manager, who is fat and yells and treats him like shit, or his best friend who's fucking his girlfriend behind his back. He's very much aware of all of this, but he's just too much of a pussy to do anything about it. Until one day you see that guy at the beginning that I was talking about, that ran from the elevator to the other roof, that was his father. And he was killed that same day by somebody who's hunting these assassins down. And this person is also coming after Wesley because that was his father. So Angelina Jolie, Morgan Freeman, whoever's left in this organization have come to him and said, hey, you're this guy's son. You have this ability to hone in, to curve bullets. What? And now you're being sought after, so you have to join us. You have to be a part of this. And it's a slow arbitrage of a process to watch Wesley get into this situation. I really enjoyed this film, though. I do. I love the actors in it. James McAvoy, at the time I didn't know who he was, but all these years later you've seen some of the best work of really any actor, a working actor nowadays. He's at the top of the list. So going back and seeing him play this role that he is very kind of embarrassing to see at the beginning, is how much he doesn't have a spine, how much he lets his girlfriend walk all over, how much he lets even his best friend played by Chris Pratt, surprisingly enough, fat Chris Pratt, so before he lost the weight and became a big movie star. But you see that, you see how much he just hates his life. It's just, man, there's a part of me that relates to him, but you don't want to relate to him because it's pathetic, and so you think to yourself, am I pathetic? Is that me in any way, shape, or form? Maybe it is. Fuck. My life sucks. So, again, very relatable. And you see that when he gets roped into all of this, I mean, being an assassin has to be crazy, has to be insane. He spends, like, the middle portion of this movie screaming, getting his ass kicked, having his face bashed in and covered in blood, and so you're definitely on that ride with him. Morgan Freeman plays Sloan. He's the head of this organization, like I said, and to see how they work, their process, how they come up with people that they want to kill, how long they've been around, it's intense, it's kind of weird, but hey, I guess there has to be some sort of balance in the world, I guess. Angelina Jolie plays Fox, who, she's hot, man. I'm sorry. I'd love to say that I'm not attracted to her. I'd love to say that she doesn't have that power over me, but she does. There's something about her eyes, something about the way she looks at you, looks into your soul, and just does whatever she wants with it. I can understand, goddammit, why Brad Pitt did what he did, although I guess he didn't end up staying with her, but in any event, still, she's hot. And she's believable. She's a badass. And the action scenes that you see with her, it's like, yeah, I completely get Angelina Jolie and why she was a thing. Curving the bullets I thought was super cool. It's one of those things that might sound silly if you say it or if you don't see it, or maybe when you first initially see it and you think that's so weird and goofy and dumb, but it ends up being something that was unique to this movie, and I think it reminds me similar, not as much of a big scale, but as innovative as the action scene in The Matrix were. I think that this movie was trying to go for something like that, where you saw shootouts, and you saw action moments that you've never seen before. I think they at least went for that. Also, this is one of those movies that I thought was very fun, very enjoyable, and I remember liking for years and wondering, when are they going to make a sequel? and I'm reading on Wikipedia, of course, they're the go-to, and you see that they've been trying to make a sequel for the last 12 years, I guess now 13 years. Holy fuck. In every year, James McAvoy gets asked about it, or he says hey, I'm down to make it. Whenever they can get a script, they clearly can't make a good script enough to make the sequel. But I feel like this movie, I'm surprised it wasn't the start of a franchise. It seemed like it had the legs, or it had the lore, it had enough to build off of to become a franchise. You see so many other movies that become franchises, and you think, well, how did that get a bunch of sequels? But this didn't. It made enough money. I feel like seeing Morgan Freeman alone in a leather jacket saying, "Shoot this motherfucker!" that should be enough to make people want to see more of this super ultra over the top fun goodness that I thought wanted. There was a video game that I bought and remember playing and thinking, well, I guess this is the only way I'll get a sequel, is playing this game. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too have seen Wanted. What do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you love it? Are you also surprised that it never got a sequel? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
Heat in my vein like vernacular. Cook up the beat with a spatula. Y'all are not ready for action. I'm smoking these rappers and feeling spectacular. Making a killing like massacre. Watch out, I'm whipping my wrist. Right on my city, been pissed, but I show them love. I'm not the one that's at risk. My homie told me that when people rise up against you, it's the sign of your destiny real. Fake ones been hating cause they know that one day you're making it. Jealousy's all they can feel. Plug in the phone, drift in my zone.